Alrighty, beautiful people. In today's psychological lecture, we're essentially going to be going over when it is okay for you guys to go all in or full-time into trading. My bad for the crazy hair. I was driving and ripping my 2022 BMW M8 competition. I'm just joking. Okay, I was actually. That's why my hair looks crazy. But anyways, I had I think a total of 32 member payouts in my Discord this week. Some of them, and the top one being $18,000. So I kind of wanted to make this video because I know a lot of you guys obviously making money, getting funded payouts, and you have the question of obviously asking yourself, okay, but when is it okay and when is it fine for me to go all in or full-time into day trading? So one thing I'll tell you guys beforehand is you're either person A or person B. Person A is someone who has no life expenses, maybe $1K a month, $500 a month, lives with their parents, you're 15 to 25 in that general range. That's person A. Person B is anywhere from 15 to 45, 50 years old, has real life expenses, $3 to $5 to $10,000 a month in real life expenses. Now, obviously I'm gonna be telling different stories and how I would do it for person A and then as well as person B. So first thing I'll tell you guys, for person A, you don't really need to be worried because the nice part is you have no life expenses. You have nothing to lose if, God forbid, let's say in the worst case scenario, hypothetically speaking, you lose it all. You lose all your money, you're shit out of luck, you basically don't know what to do. Well, there's always a minimum wage job you can go back to because you're living with your parents, you have no life expenses. So that's why it's so different, right? But person A, in the most simple way I can put it, there's a couple of different things that we want to look at. Obviously, we want to ask how much are we making a month and how much are we saving a month? And then as well as how much does our life cost, right? So for person A, ideally, if you are spending less than $1,000 to $2,000 a month, this is exactly how I would do it. 3 months minimum, ideally 6 months. 3 to 6 months, we can say in that general ballpark of making around $5,000 a month minimum, right? So in that general ballpark, but then you also need to think about how much money is in your bank account. This is a factor a lot of people don't talk about on social media. A lot of people will say, oh, but I'm making 10K a month. And then I'll ask them, I'll be like, okay, beautiful, you're making 10K a month. How much do you have in your bank account? Well, I have a lot of expenses and then I only have $5,000 in my bank. Then you're an idiot, right? So liquid cash is one of the most important metrics. You all need to ask yourself, okay, how much am I making? How much does my life cost? And then as well as, obviously, how much is in my bank account? Ideally, to go all in full-time into trading and be able to quit your job, your minimum wage job, 3 to 6 months of at least $5,000 a month coming in. And I'm not talking about funded P&L. I'm not talking about, oh, but my funded accounts have 5K each in balance. No. I'm talking about in your bank account. All right, so 3 to 6 months of 5K plus a month in dollars hitting your bank account, paired with at least $15,000 to $20,000 in the bank, right? So 3 to 6 months of profitability, at least $5,000 a month, 15K in your bank account, 20K in your bank account, more than happy and more than available to basically be able to go all in full time into trading, because you're okay with taking more risky plays, right? And that advice is quote unquote risky to the vast majority of people. But the nice part is what do you have to lose, right? You're living with your parents, you're basically spending $500 to $1,000 a month, then you're okay. Now for person B, what do I recommend? Obviously it's more of a sensitive topic. Maybe you're one of those guys who got kicked out of the house at a young age. You have your rent, you have your insurance, car note, all that stuff. Maybe your life costs 3 to 5K a month, maybe even 7K a month. Well, what do I recommend for people in that category? So you need to prepare. You need to not only think about it in the money aspect, you need to think about it in the psychological aspect. Because when you trade without a job, you obviously know your performance is gonna be a little bit out of whack, right? Originally starting. Because it's new, it's scary to you. You have to basically put bills on the table, and the only way you can do that if you quit your job is through trading. So what do I recommend for these people and how would I go about it? Now this is going to be advice you probably won't want to hear right now because it'll seem so far away, but you also need to realize you guys can achieve this in the next 30 to 60 to 90 days, right? With the proper guidance, proper mentor, and you genuinely trying your best every single day, this is literally achievable in 30 to 60 to 90 days. So you obviously first need to calculate how much your life costs, right? Let's just say easy number, 4K a month, right? Okay, beautiful. People say ideally have 12 months of expenses in the bank account. So 12 times 4 is what? $48,000 in the bank liquid. So 50K, let's just call it liquid. I say have 75K, have a year and a half. And the only reason why I say that is just because of the fact that, dude, you don't want to trade with a bad mindset and bad psychology. When you have no money in the bank, right, and you're trying to go full-time into trading and your life costs 3, 4, 5K a month, well, you could fuck yourself over really quick, right? Because it's a whole different psychological tactics, it's a whole different thought process. The FOMO, the greed, the fear catches up with you, and then that ultimately allows you to crash and burn. When I went full-time into trading the first time was when I was roughly 16 and a half. I got my first payout from Apex. It was $2,000. And then I got another one 2 weeks later for another $2,000. Dude, I'm telling you guys, my life cost $2,000 a month, and I traded so bad because I quit my job. I went all in into trading. I had $4,000 in my bank account, and I tried going all in. And I realized really fast how bad I was trading. Those losses hit me even harder because of the fact that I specifically looked at trading as like, yo, I need to pay my bills. And when you look at it and you look at trading in that way, when you don't have a lot of cushion in the bank account, it's so difficult for you to be okay with taking a loss or okay with having a little bit of profit instead of a lot of profit on the day, right? So like if your typical P&L is $1,000, for example, and you make $200, you have this internal sensation rush in your brain saying, oh shit, but I need to pay my bills this month. So I need to make sure I hit that $1,000 quota. And then you fuck yourself, right? And then you basically blow the account, or you over leverage, you overtrade. That loss ends up turning into a $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 loss. And then that could even cause worse issues. So simplest way to put it for person B, ideally 1 year to a year and a half of life expenses. So if you're basically, let's just say on the high end, you're spending $4K a month times 12 months is roughly $50,000, or times a year and a half, $75,000. $50,000 to $75,000 is achievable in 30 to 90 days. Like that, to put it into perspective, right? A maximum allocation payout, right? Max allo, 5 accounts times the max payout on Top Step, for example, is $25,000. You guys are more than capable of doing that in 2 weeks, right? Like that, I want you all to understand, like that is realistic. I have seen people, I've created people to be able to do that. So don't have the thought process and mindset of saying, but that's so far away, like that I'm another 3 years out. What I'll also tell you guys is delayed gratification makes everything feel so much better. When you really felt like you worked for it, when you really felt like you're sitting there saying, damn, I actually deserve to go all into trading, it makes it so much better, right? The first time I went all into trading, I didn't deserve to go all into trading. The second time I went all into trading, I was making roughly like 15K a month, and I really fucking felt like I deserved, after all that hard work, that I deserve to go all in or full-time into trading. So that's what I'll tell you guys for those people. And then in monthly increment sense, I mean, bro, 10 to 15K a month in that general range, 10 to 15K a month with $50,000 to $75,000 in the bank. Beautiful. That's the only thing you need. So in summary, person A or person B, you have to decide which one are you. Are you a kid that lives with his parents that has $500 to $2,000 of life expenses? Okay, beautiful. 15 to 20 grand in the bank, 3 to 6 months of anywhere from $5,000 to $15,000 a month. Easy, easy, easy. And I want you guys to literally understand that is achievable in 3 to 6 months. Like from right now, what month are we in? We just got into July. You guys can easily, with the proper mentor, proper thought process, proper everything, achieve that by December. Like that could be a realistic goal you have set out for yourself. But there's obviously a bunch of different criterias. Like if you're trying to do it on your own and you're just going out about and saying, oh, I want to just completely do this on my own, I don't really know how long it will take you realistically, but I'm saying, let's say you have a mentor behind you, you're genuinely trying your best every day, you're putting in insane amount of work, that's realistic by the latest December. Like you can even do that by September, right? That's realistic for you. So that's just kind of what I want you guys to understand. And the only reason why I'm making this video is because we literally had, I think like 32 or 33 members get payouts. We had a PR in the Discord, total of $50,000 in just this week alone in member payouts. I already should have at the beginning propped it up all on the screen, but really good feeling. I was able to do that for people. And honestly, obviously the money from the Discord community itself is very nice for me. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you guys, but the impact also is really, really, really cool, right? Like I constantly get messages from you guys watching this video saying, Salman, you've changed my life. Salman, you've done this for me. Salman, you've done that for me. And don't ever stop, and don't ever think I'm not going to respond to those messages. Those literally give me so much happiness, and I really appreciate you guys when you guys text me those things. But yeah, man, we're taking over. We keep growing. The Discord keeps growing. The Discord keeps getting more and more payouts, new PRs every week. So really blessed to be in this position, being able to help you guys out, man. That's what it's all about. But anyways, folks, I love you guys. I hope this all made sense to you. I try to make this as short as possible so you're not confused. If you guys have any specific questions, be more than free to DM me. Like, let's say you're in an extreme hypothetical situation where you have to give your parents $4,000 a month or $3,000 or $2,000 a month for some odd reason. And it's like, okay, well, what do I do in this scenario? Feel more than free to DM me and I'll respond to you guys. Anyways, folks, I love you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one, man. Peace. Happy 4th of July.